When some Virginians drop off a package or pick up their mail, they may not notice the incredible murals and sculptures that decorate 27 post offices and other federal buildings across the Commonwealth. Commissioned by the U.S. Department of the Treasury's Section of Fine Arts from 1934 to 1943, many of them feature scenes of Virginia's rich agricultural heritage.
In the Great Depression, about 1/4 of the population was out of work, and President Franklin Delano Roosevelt at the time was looking for ways to get more people to work, but also to improve morale and to restore confidence in the country. The idea was presented of putting art in public spaces, and post offices were presented as a natural community gathering spot.
The Petersburg and Strasburg, Virginia post offices feature murals that highlight the significance of agriculture in those communities. Kokersberger says that while abstract art was popular in the early 20th century, the section of fine arts wanted a style for the common man.
They wanted realistic scenes that the average citizen could relate to, and they wanted stuff that was of local significance. So the case in point in Petersburg and Strasburg, when you see those murals, it's depicting agricultural scenes and the beautiful landscape of Virginia.
William Calfee, who later helped start the art department at American University in Washington, D.C., was commissioned by the Section of Fine Arts to paint murals in several post offices across Virginia, Maryland, and Delaware. His agricultural scenes in Virginia is in the Petersburg post office and depicts laborers harvesting tobacco and peanuts, two prominent crops in the region.
The people who lived in Petersburg at the time that these murals were done, which was 1937, most of them had friends or family who worked in the tobacco industry or the peanut processing industries. So going in here would be a constant reminder of the heritage of the community.
William Calfee's son, Helm Calfee, says that while his father's work was usually abstract, the Petersburg mural is a blend of the required realism and his father's later artistic styles.
It screams William Calfee. The way he did the figures and the content and all of that. It's probably nothing that he would have done later on a whim, but it's so his style. The way he addresses the human body, the sense of movement, and the detail. He takes some subtle creative liberties with it, but it's, just for lack of a better term, in my mind, anatomically correct. I get a sense of movement and the labors in that piece.
During the Section of Fine Arts program, artists like Calfee competed anonymously by submitting sketches to a panel of judges. The average commission was $600, which is about $13,000 today when adjusted for inflation. William Calfee's other son, Alan Calfee, sees multiple facets to his father's motivation to participate in the program.
I think it was a combination of the effects of the Depression, maybe difficulty in finding work in that field, and an opportunity to create some pieces that would get some exposure. I think he also liked the challenge of creating a piece for a space like that, a public space. I can see that he would love that challenge of taking a sort of a physical tasks of labor and agriculture and using that to create a piece that has, some motion in it and other desirable elements as a artwork.
While the Petersburg post office mural features peanuts and tobacco, the Strasburg post office features muralist Sarah Blakesley's depiction of an apple orchard. The region is well known for apple production, and although the mural was painted in 1938, it is reminiscent of scenes from the present day.
Even when they were painted, a lot of them were showing historical scenes, the founding of a community, the early origins of the industry, things of that sort. So clearly, times have changed. A lot of people aren't working out in the fields, but to see images of that, I think, reminds them of our history, and specifically the history of their own community.
And Sergei Chubetskoy says that there are internet communities that have created post office artwork trails for visiting these works across the state, region, or nation.
I've seen, if you just go online, you will see that there are photographs of murals that people have posted. People will say, oh, I happened to go in this post office while I was traveling, and you know, I took these photographs of these great murals. I've seen them all over the place. If I know that there's one in a building, I will go out of my way to go see it.
Whether planning the next family road trip or dropping off a letter at your local post office, Virginia families can uncover more about their community's heritage by looking for these historic works of art hidden in plain sight. To find the nearest artwork, visit WPAMurals.org. Reporting for Real Virginia, I'm Norm Hyde.